Hey everybody, we're back for part 2 on Incognito. So we are playing kind of my form of hard mode where we have to come back to the sand pit for everything. We don't get to just refill wherever it allows us to refill. So I was at the end of the last video, I did continue on to start playing, and I got past the piece of machinery up ahead, and I thought the excavator, and I thought, no, you know what? I better back up and start this video from scratch so that people don't think I didn't play hard mode. That's what I did, and on my way back, I dumped a little pile out the side of my truck because that's what this game does if you go on too much of an angle. So we are playing in, well, what I consider hard mode. So yeah, we've got to come all the way back to the sand pit for every load, and we can do whatever repairs we want as we go along. I will, let us get up here, and I will, in case you never watched the first video, so this is what we're doing. So here we are. Here's our quarry, sand quarry, and we've got our transporter running constantly there for, that was for the gas station. Excuse me, running back to our base. Now we are running all the way over to, where is it now? Geez, I almost forgot. Over to here. And we're dumping our load. We're filling in this whole piece right in here because we need to create a infrastructure in order to get right here our which one is it? Electric field, steel beams. So we are going from, I believe it is, well, the electric field, if we opened it up, steel beams, which way are we going here? What the hell? Oh, so our main substation, we've got to provide power from here to there. That's for our electricity. But what we're also going to be doing is we have to run, where is it? Can't find it right now, but we will get back to it. But we are, oh, maybe it was in subs. There we are. Deliver cargo truck to the Highland base. And the cargo truck is over. Where is it? It's right over. Damn it, I lost it because we went away from the game. But we have to deliver it over to the Highland base, and where it currently is, damn it, where is it? It is over here somewhere. But anyways, we have to, the only way through is with that steel truck is to go through here. So that's what we're doing. So we're finishing this off so that we can get that truck across here, and we could do the electricity first. I mean, let's take our brake off. I mean, restoring the electricity should be fairly easy, but how the hell did we come out here? Oh, right here. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go up through here, over here, and then we gotta back it off so I can see it a little bit better. And then we're going down here. So that's what we're gonna be doing for right now. We might switch over to the electrical to break it up, but in order to get the electrical equipment over, there's our steel truck right there. So yeah, this steel truck needs to go to, which base was it again? Which base was it again? Jesus Christ, man. It was to the Highland base, okay? Oh, I know why I'm confused. Because we were doing, we were using this other quarry before. And we were going all the way around. That's why I got all confused. So actually, our steel truck, which is right here, we could actually deliver that to the Highland base, get that over with, and move on to the next one. So actually, let's do that. Oh. Deliver, grab the cargo truck they requested, and deliver to the Highland base. What the hell? Why is it out there? Reach location. Okay, we are not doing that. Yeah, we are not doing that. We're staying exactly where we are. Never mind. I was wondering why it was saying, why it seemed so easy. Because it wasn't easy the first episode. So we're just going to keep dumping these loads. And like I said, we might stop for the electrical, but I believe we need the road for the electrical too, because we have to get our equipment from the Highland base over to, oh, yeah, but we're going this way anyway. No, we're not. We're on the other side of the river. Never mind. My brain is getting all twisted up. Been playing way too many hours of this awesome game. And so I played, my first video was 2 hours long. And that was, there was no editing out. We played it, you know, we were from, without stopping. We played for 2 hours. And when I restarted, reloaded the game, we were a whole 11% done on Incommunicado. So in 2 hours, we basically got 10% done. So you can see just how much there is to do. Geez, you don't want to go too much further. Could have gotten ourselves in trouble there. So, I'm guessing that's going to take about, I don't know, let's say 20 loads to fill that enough to get a road across. My guess. But one of my viewers was telling me, like, he had done, like, oh no, it wasn't him, it was another guy that was using sand on the last map to build the bridge. And I thought, well, that's not how you're supposed to build a bridge. Supposed to use the concrete slabs, but he was using sand. So whatever, man. I mean, you play the game the way you want to play it. You can pretty much, you got enough sand, you can build whatever you want. I mean, you could literally place sand anywhere here and manipulate the entire map. Now that sand pile's going to get to be a pain in the butt sitting right there. 2 little sand piles. See, this is pretty quick. That was a quick turnaround. little slower going back because of our weight, obviously, but we really should grab our loader and bring it over there too. Our loader's on the other side though. I know I'm gonna knock down this tree eventually. Oh, there it goes right there. Oh no, it stayed up. I hope everybody can hear me a little better than the last video. I kind of adjusted, had to turn down the sound on the game. It was a little too blocking out my voice a little bit. I might end up putting some sand here just to cover our butt in case we need later on to do put a route through there somewheres. I mean, this road's pretty good. I wonder we could step up to a bigger dump truck, but I prefer to save my money for later on because these maps are getting a lot more involved. I don't want to say harder, but they're getting way more involved. I can't really tell yet if this one's harder. Time we're empty, we can turn our diffs off, haul ass back until we get right to the quarry or right to the sand pit where it's muddy. Just trying to think if there could be another spot to get our cable layer to the electrical. But I don't think there is. Everything's got to go through over that road. I mean, there's some pretty muddy spots in here that you could maybe try, but end up rescuing. I've already had a rescue in the first video. Now it's too bad we can't grab like the conveyor belt and bring it back to the separator and have it have the conveyor belt work like that. Oh shit, see, I did it again. Lost part of the load. Now that pile's gonna be even worse. That's why I wouldn't mind bringing the loader back over on this side, because if it keeps getting worse, but part of me thinks, well, we can just tough it out until we get enough sand in that part, in that gully in the road, that we can get everything going without the grader being there. I keep calling it a loader, but I mean, it looks more like a loader than the typical grader that I'm used to seeing, the blade grader that's underneath the driver. Just a different kind of grader. So we're cruising along pretty good. Our loader we could bring right back through here. This is where we went through originally in video 1, part 1. We could bring that loader back through there, and then it's back on this side, and we can do a bunch of other repairs along here as we go. Because like, I don't think these maps aren't. The objective is not to get the missions done as quick as possible. It's to prepare the whole map for recovery. Didn't SnowRunner have like timed missions? Like, I thought when you had to discover parts of the map, they were timed or something. Some of them were timed. This is just kind of, more laid back, but this is pretty relaxing as far as I'm concerned. Boy, that's really not. Uh-oh, are we getting stuck? Got our diffs on and everything. We might have gone too far. Nope, there we go. Going this way. There we go. Get her up. And we're good to go. Oh, we got our brake on, dumbass. Doesn't help when you got your brake on. I was wondering why those back tires didn't seem to be moving. Even though I believe on these dump trucks, they're no different than a regular vehicle. The parking brake is applied to the front discs, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm sure one of you will tell me. Don't be afraid to tell me. You can tell me. I don't mind. Doesn't seem to be too much in it yet. I think, which way was I losing it? It was coming through the other way. I think if I go this way, I think I'm okay. We won't lose the load quite as much. Oh, maybe it was this way that we were dumping the load. About to find out. Oh, we were okay there. Oh, no, there we go. There it is. It's right on the last one. Bastard. Now we know. See, I mean, even there, we got enough sand there. we could smooth that out. So it's stay to the right. So when we come back, I'm gonna ask myself the same question. You know I will. Very nice map. I think we're going to be seeing some logging in this one. I have a sneaking suspicion. There is a lot of hints around the map, like straight ahead. Well, it's going to take a lot longer to fill this hole if we keep dumping half our frickin' load before we leave the quarry. There, we got a little bit of a pile started there, but that's not gonna do anything. We can knock that down with the blade in no time. Actually, I want to check something. How much do we move the sand just with our wheels? We do it at all? No, we don't. See, that's too bad. Like, it should... Why is it that the sand... Oh, it's moving a little bit when you get right on top. Not really, actually. Like, why is it that our mud, going through the mud, moves the mud, but we don't move the sand that we're putting down? Something's a little out there. I mean, it's definitely not game breaker. Just little things like that, right? Like, I mean, that's stuff that they might fix over time. You know, not for sure. I mean, they've already put, as far as I know, they put 2 or 3 updates through already. And I mean, whenever a game comes out, always some issues with it. Things that need to be changed, stuff like that. Nowadays, everybody demands perfection. Need to cool their jets. Just report the problem. You don't need to be a jerk about it just because, you know, your daddy didn't pay enough attention to you when you were a kid and you need attention now. And just say what you found was wrong, and that's it. All you need to say. Oh, I don't like coming in this way. Not a smooth turnaround. And the rain begins again. Excuse me. Geez, it feels like we're gonna dump there too. We must have been on the verge of dumping. part of it. Okay, I think after this load, we'll see about grabbing that loader and bringing it back over on this side. I mean, worst comes to worst, our garage is on this side, and if we get it stuck, we have to reset it. That puts it on this side. But actually, I think we have 2 spawn points. I think one is on each side, but might be wrong about that. Yeah, I hope by me lowering the volume it doesn't take out too much of the sound for the game too. Because I believe I just touched the master sound. Yeah, like how come the mud, right? Like we're making tracks right now. But the sand, I mean it makes a small track in the sand, but really it's sand. Like sand moves so easily. You should be able to displace it a lot more in my opinion, but I mean maybe it's just an adjustment. I'm not a coder, and even if I was a coder, I wouldn't pretend to know everything, so go a little bit further, come on. That's good. I'm a little too nervous. You don't need to flip it. See, that's not bad. We're already starting to even out on that. Like, there's another little mound behind us. On our way back again. I had the opportunity to do exactly this, not restoration, but building roads and running a dump truck. And it was a summer only job. I'm up in Alberta, Canada, so winter there's not a lot of construction on the roads, but it was go hardcore from beginning of April until sometime in November, whenever the weather shuts you down. Could be October, but sometimes November. It was everything was designed. You lived in hotel rooms, and we were always like within the distance of work that you could stay within your 200 kilometer radius, so you didn't have to worry that much about hours, and you worked, I think it was, we're going to be working 13 days on and get 1 day off, but then you're too far from home to go home for that 1 day, so all you got a chance to do was laundry at wherever laundromat you could find or whatever, and you worked 16, 17 hours a day. Now, I almost took it, but I have a 9-year-old at home that is into sports and everything else, and I didn't want to be away from home for basically 9 months. I mean, I would have been home for, well, 3 every day, but he would have been at school. So it wouldn't have been much of a, relationship. And that's when your kid tends to turn into a butthead about his father, right? So I didn't want to take that risk. So I didn't take it, although it was very good money, like 30 some bucks an hour. So it would have been very, very good. Oh, I was going to get that loader, wasn't I? Okay, maybe we'll go dump this load first and then we'll go grab that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind filling in this little puddle right here. Just to make sure if we do have a route that ends up coming through here later on, it's already dealt with. There's got to be a place on here, I'm guessing we're going to be using our paving equipment. And it might be the road that we're doing right now where we're putting sand. We might have to pave that. But if we can use it with just the sand, I'm not going to pave it until it tells us to. We're not as deep here. Like, I wasn't too sure how much of the sand would go off to the sides, but it seems like it's holding on all right. I'm sure there's someone out there watching that can tell me how that does this job, how realistic it is, but like I said, I had a chance at a job like this, but I never took it. I did haul livestock for 6 years, and that was pretty much 28 days on the road and 3 days at home in a whole month. But that was when the boy was young, and father wasn't as important. It was all about mom then. Oh, okay, let's park this ditty right here. And we'll go see about our loader. Our loader should be right over here at this sand pile. It's in the back here. There's our scout vehicle. So we were driving up through here and doing the other side. But I think now we're going to grab this sucker. There we are. And we will... Oh, we're still in sand flattening. Odd that they don't have gas in here, eh? And yet, for the service vehicle, you have to have fuel. It's so odd that they do that. Okay, so we're gonna go into manual, lower it down some, and we're on our way. So I laid out a bunch of sand here in episode 1 to make this easier so that we can bypass this big puddle and go up around this way. Now this is going to be slow go, unfortunately. But we'll get there. We're going to hang a right and go partway through that puddle. Shortcut. That's how we got back in here when before we had all the sand. You can see this sand here. I kind of screwed this up in the first video and made it very bumpy here. So we're gonna go to the left, get around all this crap, should see dump truck soon. I believe we've got to go. I might have to check the map. Go the wrong. I think we're going over here. We're going through here, but this is actually where we should be going, right here. There's our dump truck right there. We're gonna hang a left and go through. Originally, I went through here and thought, why the hell am I doing that when I could be going there? So, first episode was a whole lot of, oops, we should have done this way. There's our truck right there. We got to get around this tree. Like, you can pretty much go anywhere. This map. So maybe what we're gonna do is, now that we got this over here, that was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. We're gonna hop back into here, and we're gonna go and dump sand in this puddle, get that over with, and then we can bring our loader up to the, actually, maybe we'll bring our loader down to the pit. And then that way we can fix what I've done there. See, so we could be refilling sand like right here. You don't even have to get that close. But that just loses a little bit too much of its realism as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if you want to do it that way, that's fine. I just prefer to do it this way. Yeah, I think I said this already, but I mean, really, realistically, you can probably lay sand every ounce of this map and smooth it out. You know, you might have a few issues around fallen trees and that, because for some reason we can't take out every tree, only certain ones, which doesn't really make sense, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think we need to come back here and, actually this isn't too bad, but I wouldn't mind fixing it up. Like, I wish, well, actually I haven't tried it, but I'm guessing that we can't come with a big crane and move that excavator. That excavator is going to stay there no matter what, because that's the way they made the game. That's just my guess. I mean, could we do a bunch of testing and try it out? Sure we could. But I currently do not have a crane that would pick that excavator up. Base game one wouldn't pick that excavator up, and if it did, well, then that alone isn't very realistic. I mean, you would basically need a self-built structure cranes, like the full crane, like in the first map. You would need a crane like that to pick that excavator up, I would think. Okay, we'll turn around and dump it. That way it's facing the right way for him to spread it out. And half of this stuff that I'm doing might be unnecessary. But I'm covering my ass because it is a restoration game, so why not restore it? was probably my best dump of the whole game. It was actually smooth and ongoing. Oh, maybe that means I'm getting better. I'm actually getting better. See, dumping tons of loads, it just improves your style. Just like when I was doing livestock, man. When I started livestock, I never had anything to do with livestock before. I grew up a farm boy, but it was a grain farm. There was no livestock. And then I moved to Alberta, and everything out here is livestock. Oil and beef province. So then I started hauling livestock, not knowing anything about them, and came to discover that what I thought was the scary cows, which were bulls, are one of the least scary parts about bulls, unless it's a rodeo bull. Then yeah, shit, then look out. But the ones with the worst temperament are the fucking Holsteins, the milk cows, for those of you that don't know what a Holstein is. Fuck, are they bitchy. I had one, you walk down into the front nose of the trailer, and it for anybody that doesn't know anything about livestock trailers, there's a ramp, and small ramp, and they go down. You got to run them up a ramp to the top part of the trailer, and then you got to run them back down into the front. They call it the front nose or dog. Well, no, the dog house is the back part, top part. But some people called the front the dog house, even though it was there was a front nose. But it would all depend on whether you're using them. You could use the same trailers pretty much for either livestock, or for cattle, or for pigs, or goats, or sheep, or whatever. But anyways, so she ran down there, and she turned around, and she looked at me, and she stepped on the ramp before I could get the gate closed. And it's the gate closes when you pull down the top part of the gate. The floor of the ramp comes up. Well, she had already stepped on the floor, so I couldn't get the gate closed, and I had my center gate up top closed. I don't know why I closed it. I never close it when I'm trying to put them into the front nose, but for some reason that time I closed it. And she had her little, nubby horns on her. Not full horns, but, just little nubby horns. And she looked at me, and she came up, and I just knew she was gonna be a little bitch about it. And sure enough, she pinned me up against that center gate with her head. She tucked her head underneath my ass and picked me up so quick. She slammed my head into the ceiling of that trailer, and then she turned around and started down the ramp. Now, when I got my wits about me, which was when she was turning around to go back down the ramp, I opened my eyes, and all I saw was her hind legs. And I thought, oh, shit, I'm gonna take one to the frickin' head right now. And I should have. She could have nailed me. But all she did was walk down into the front nose, and I closed the gate. But that could have gone a bad way. And I mean, I don't know why she, I didn't I didn't go at her aggressively or anything like that. She just felt cornered, and she just wanted to let me know who was boss. And she let me know who was boss. But I mean, other than that, cattle was awesome. I loved hauling cattle. I mean, the worst part about hauling cattle was cleaning shit out in winter. In summer is a breeze, but in winter, if you didn't clean that shit out right away, it quickly froze into every groove. And if you're going to pick up another load, and you're picking them up at an auction mart, and you're delivering them off to a farmer, he doesn't want his new bought cows to be covered in shit. So you got to make sure you clean up your trailer, otherwise you're going to hear about it. But yeah, I did that for, well, I guess I did that for 4 years. The first 2 years I hauled strictly pigs, and I will never haul pigs again. They are the stinkiest frickin' animals. I mean, after I stopped hauling pigs, it took me a couple years just to eat bacon. And that's a sad thought, because bacon is so good. But pigs stink to high heaven, man. And they're very acidic pee. But it's not their pee that is the stinky part. Their shit, when you're in the trailer, and now you got to think of a cattle trailer, you put rails in. They're called rails, which basically it's what it is a floor that gets removed. And that way you can pack more pigs in. So where cows, you would put like 14 in the bottom, middle, depending on the size, but like 13 or 14 for full-size cows going to slaughter. You could put with your double floor in there, you could put 40 pigs that are ready to go to slaughter. Maybe even a little bit more, depending on the weather. So they're packed right in there. Plus, that floor is so low, in order to chase them out of the bottom, if you're one of those guys like me that goes in the trailer to unload them. There's some guys that try to do it from the outside, and they end up fighting it more than anything. I mean, they don't get covered in shit, but they do have more difficulty unloading them. I just go in there and get them unloaded so the next guy can get in behind me. I don't like holding up other drivers. Never have. So I would just go in there, and probably 90% of the guys do go in to the trailers when they're unloaded. But pigs freak out. Like, you've got a little gas can or a little, I can't remember what they call the tool, but it was basically a hand shaker. You would shake that thing, and the smaller the pig, like the younger, not smaller, the younger the pig, the more they would freak out when you shook that thing. And when they freak out, they just panic. And they might come running at you, and your hands and knees, and they're coming at you face to face. And I've been bowled over by a 300-pound pig that hurt a hell of a lot more than a cow ever hurt me. I've had broken knuckles from pigs. Mind you, I guess I got broken ribs one time from a bull that tried to jump over a gate I had just closed. And he jumped up right in front of me and hung his front legs over top of me, or not over top of me, over top of the gate, and his head hit my chest, and I was stuck there because his legs were over top of my arms, and he pushed open that gate and rode that gate open all the way to the sidebars and crushed me in between it, between the gate and the sidebars. That did not feel good. I think I broke 4 ribs there. And then he just looked at me, gave me a lick on the cheek, and jumped down and left. And sure, he hurt me, but he was in a panic too. And he didn't hate me, he wasn't trying to kill me. He just accidentally put his arms over the gate, freaking out. And the proof is in the pudding. Once he calmed down and realized what had happened, he gave me a lick on the cheek, I mean, I've had some close calls where I thought bulls were gonna take me down, and they had plenty of opportunity to, like being stuck in a trailer behind the center gate on the wall while you're trying to squeeze some bulls into the front part. And I've had cows, I've had bulls stop and look at me as they're walking past me, and their heads are right where my heads are, and they just stop, look at me, and one's giving me a lick when I was behind the gate. But I mean, could have gone the other way. His weight, he could have pushed on that gate walking by inadvertently, not knowing he was, you know, pushing up against that gate. I mean, cows aren't the most, certainly aren't the most graceful animal. But he could have stumbled or whatever. Where's my, oh, it's down here. He could have stumbled or whatever and done some serious damage on me. I mean, I've had a bull with full horns, you know, just walk by me, not even really paying attention that I was there, and the horns just missed my face, and I was trapped behind a half gate there too. But I did bison once, and the farmer helped me load them, but I mean, the farmer's, you know, he kind of, well, let's just say, for lack of a better word, grew up with them, let's just say. Oh, we got the lows on. And he, bison are, I mean, they're wild animals. So you don't fuck with a bison. Like you see some of those people on Yellowstone that get laid out. You don't screw with a bison, and some guys, and the way I was taught, even though I only did it once, was your gates that need to be closed, you tie like ropes on them, or have, whoops, we're going a little wild, or have a little hook mechanism so that you can close that gate from outside the trailer, and then all you have to do is close your back gate. I mean, even that is tough, because if you don't get that gate closed in your truck, those bison are gonna run in, that gate's not closed, they're gonna turn around and run right back out, and now you gotta load them again. But it's a lot safer doing it that way than going in a trailer with a bison. Some guys will hide in the doghouse, and they'll try and get their top center gate closed. You know, the bison will run in, and then they'll jump out of the doghouse and try and close that gate. To me, that's a little too risky. You know, you could easily get cornered in a doghouse and crushed by a bison if it really wanted to. But those are the games you play for the big bucks. But that money wasn't that good. It was about, I think my best year, I made, oh, don't lose any of the load. Don't lose it. There we go. I think my best year doing livestock, just cows, I used to go from Alberta to Ontario and deliver to Cargill there. Maybe I shouldn't use her name. Some girl, car girl. Yeah, that's where I delivered them to, some car girl. Yeah, delivered them in Ontario, and then half the time we would get stuck hauling pigs back. Either that or we were hauling yearlings back to Alberta. But more often than not, we were hauling pigs back to Red Deer, Alberta. And I think I did $105,000 Canadian. That was a pretty good year. My first year driving truck I did 90,000. That was just hauling pigs, and that's all Canada. No going down to the States. Some guys went down to the States. I mean, they just wanted to see a different part of the country. I wasn't really interested. I'll stick to the familiar territory. Thank you very much. Nothing against the States, just I'll go down to the States in a car. Thank you, or my truck and with an RV before I do that with a semi. But you never know, I might be driving again. I can't find something local. I'm gonna have to go back to driving Canada long haul. And well, livestock is the only thing that really pays good anymore, unless you're doing oversized stuff. But I've only been driving for 6 years, and I don't think a company would hire me to do oversized because they wouldn't see me as having enough experience. Too much of a risk. There's a lot of guys out there that got 20 years experience that would that could be trusted. They would trust way more than a guy that's only been doing it for 6 years. Boy, that didn't do much, did it? Christ, we might be here for a while. Holy Jesus. We're an hour in to the video. We've gotten a whole hell of a lot done. There might be a part 3 to this video. Okay, so let's see. I'm just curious. I know we don't have enough sand there or anything, but I'm just curious as to what the loader, how well it'll spread it out, and how it'll work. But yeah, truck driving, if you're not a single man, you don't want to get into truck driving. You might think, oh, I'll just get a local job. No one's gonna hire you locally. You gotta go put in your dues on the road, on the highway, man, on the highway. You don't get the gravy job first. That takes years of experience, and I don't think I'm gonna get one, but I'm hoping I can pull it off. I think that's about as far as we're gonna get to go. Excuse me. We'll use that little hump as our kind of stopping point for our truck as we're backing up the next time. I think there should be an accomplishment in this game for going back to do all your dump loads. You know, going back to the sand quarry or sand pit, whatever they're calling it. I think they're calling it a sand quarry. Oh, I wanted to take a look. So that electrical. So our substation is across. So our trucks are over here. Now, I think there is a second spot to drop them. But I don't think it's... I think it's at the workshop. Which doesn't put us across. So we're kind of screwed. And I think... I mean... The fact that we have... 2 sand quarries. Oh, mind you, we had 2 sand quarries in the last map too, but like we've hardly done anything. Redwood Bay. How big is our map? Actually, that's not too bad. Kind of on the outskirts of everything. Oh, okay. So north goes a little bit big, but I mean, like I said, it only said we're 11% done. And if I'm doing this, what I consider, you know, hardcore mode by actually having to go back to the quarry pit, we can't fill yet. I want to see when we can fill. Oh, right there. So that's pretty quick. I mean, I still think, that's just my opinion, I still think that's too big. They should have the circle smaller. My viewer, he's like, no way, man, there's way too much sand hauling. I get his point, that's for sure. There is definitely a lot of sand hauling. Definitely. But some guys do this for a job all day long, every day, 6 days a week. Drive back and forth, pick up a load, go drop it back off. All day long. I don't even know if I could do that. I used to like shorter trips when I was driving truck, just because you were loading and there was something to break up the routine of just driving your truck. Mind you, you got paid by the miles, so it was I was working against what I was trying to accomplish, make more money, but I still made good bucks. I mean, I liked those trips to Ontario from Alberta. It was Ontario's a beautiful province, especially northern Alberta, or sorry, northern Ontario. And actually, people think Ontario, like from Western Canada, people think Ontario, they just think of Toronto and Ottawa, and Windsor and that. It's all big city stuff. But an hour north of those cities, it's wilderness and lakes. It's a very beautiful province. I mean, Alberta's got the mountains, but I mean, you come off them foothills and it's just flat fields. Not much to see. And they've got, they got a lot of, I'm a fisherman, they got a lot of trout fishing and that here, which I grew up walleye, bass, northern pike, the old gators, snakes. So I was never really into, catching a little speckled trout or a little rainbow trout. Granted, rainbows can get pretty big. I used to catch them in northern Manitoba. We used to go on a fishing trip and catch rainbow trout, and they were, I think master angler was 26 inches or 22 inches, and we were catching 26-inch rainbows. That was way up north, though. You wouldn't get that in southern Manitoba. That's where I grew up, was southern Manitoba. Forest province in Western Canada. The dirtiest, grungiest province in Western Canada. And I wouldn't wish my worst enemy to live in that province. Unless you were up north. Down south, Winnipeg, and lived in Winnipeg for 13 years. What a disgusting town. I went back there recently because I still got family there, and it's worse now. It is way worse. And if you live in Winnipeg, I feel sorry for you, and I don't mean anything to offend you, but get out of there. My niece turned, let's take her brake off, let's take her low off. My sister lives in Winnipeg, and my niece turned 18 and she came to BC right away. Well, Alberta, BC, working in the mountain tourism industry. And after the season was over, she went back to Winnipeg, and I was just like, God, don't stay there. Just get out of there. Don't ever go back. And now she lives in the interior of BC, right in the mountains. Beautiful land. And I hope she never goes back to Winnipeg. I know the only reason I'm going to go back to Winnipeg is to bury relatives. Unfortunately, that is my only desire to ever go there. I won't even go there to visit relatives because I want to come home with my car and my life. Crime in Winnipeg is rampant. So, yeah. Well, there's a few things about me, folks. If there's anybody watching, still. There's only so much you can talk about this game, right? When we're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's why I put in the title hardcore mode, so that if you weren't into watching something like this, you won't. I know a couple of my viewers will be watching just to see if I actually do it. Jesus, that seems like it's getting slipperier going up there. Maybe it's all in my head. I mean, really, you could build a frickin' hill and just keep leveling it off and building it higher and leveling it off and building it higher. So for anybody that doesn't, that is just watching these videos and hasn't watched some of my other videos on other games, I play a lot of farm sim. Well, I've been playing since 19. We're now at 25. And I love going on maps and just like doing stuff like this. Just picking a blank map that some modder made and just doing all kinds of weird stuff on it. And I make videos doing it. Sometimes I run out of ideas on a map and I just stop making a video and go to another map. Sometimes I get into a map and go, oh shit, that didn't work out. And we just move on to another map. But it's all about ideas. Thinking outside the box. Doing something different. You don't have to do just what everybody else is doing. That's boring. You ever had someone tell you, well, that's stupid. Why would you do something like that? Well, if we were all the same, it'd be a pretty fucking boring world, wouldn't it? Oh, we're almost up to this hump. We're going to start filling in here pretty quick, I think. Oh shit. Number down there and heavy. Now, how's our... Oh yeah, we're filling up quick now. Might not be at this too much longer. Don't get stuck. I mean, we're gonna have to level her off, but definitely on that hump there. We're, this next load is gonna bridge sand to sand anyway, so should be doing pretty good then. Now I'm just interested with how narrow that pile's gonna be. If we have to build it wider to get certain equipment across. Because if we're running a route across there, our route's gonna have to be pretty specific, otherwise our truck's gonna fall off the side. You would think, so. You know, our route's gonna be interrupted constantly, so. We might have to pour just a couple loads on each side just to kind of give it a little bit of width. But we'll see when it comes down to it. I'll tell you guys another story about me. Before I did livestock, a couple of things I did was marijuana became legal in Canada, and I got working at a grow-op. That was pretty fun, but government regulations so frickin' ridiculous with that stuff. I never seen so much perfectly good marijuana get tossed in the garbage. I mean, I grew up in my 20s in my 20s, it was the early 2000s. Let's say about that. And I mean, I smoked pot till I was probably 35, 30, 35, before when it was still illegal. And I mean, if we dropped dope on the ground, we picked it up and we grind it up and we smoked it. I mean, if we had a party and someone spilt a beer and beer went all over the marijuana, we dried out the marijuana and we smoked it. But government regulations, marijuana hits the floor, a bud hits the floor, that's garbage, man. You can't sell that. That's contaminated. Man, I don't know how many times I've seen somebody drop like a pan of marijuana, like a couple of pounds in there, tripped, and a couple of pounds hit the floor. And I'm just like, oh man, that's all garbage. That's some good stuff. Yeah, sad times, I tell you. Government regulations. Before that, I was a subcontractor. I used to do siding, soffit fascia, eave trough, roofing, all that good stuff. That I did for about 20 years. So I'm an old fart now. But yeah, I did construction for 20 years until I was a little older than 40. Yes. I enjoyed that. Construction was fun, but as you get older, the body doesn't like it nearly as much. Okay, we're just touching there, the other side. We might have to bring our loader in there to kind of smooth that out so that we can drive in there a little better. Let's do that. Yeah, I used to really enjoy doing construction, man. I could work like I was self-employed. I was a subcontractor. It was all piecework. I was single. Had no interest in women. I had interest in money. And if I happen across a woman at the bar, well, that's as far as we went. Because I had to work the next day. But man, I used to love doing siding. Roofing was never fun. That's a young man's game. Roofing. If you're old and you do roofing, God bless you, man. I don't know how you do it. Unless you're like running a crew and you're not doing a lot of the nailing and that, but hauling shingles up the ladder and that, 2 stacks on your shoulder. Some guys I'd see big as hell, haul 3 stacks, some even 4. They haul 2 on each shoulder and climb the ladder. And I was just like, my God, no thank you. Couldn't pay me enough to roof now. But siding was fun. Just up in the air all day. Put your pump jacks up. Go up on your planks and just work away. And then it was ruined by the government. They brought in all these safety regulations, and you had to wear harnesses as soon as you were fucking 7 feet off the ground, and they ruined construction. And they doubled the prices of homes. So everybody says it's inflation and that. Well, no, it's government regulations. That's what it is, because your equipment costs you twice as much, and you have to work twice as hard to make the same amount of money. Because when I started in construction, in the 90s, when I left construction, I was making the same amount of money per square foot 20 years later. Because construction companies pit contractors against each other to get a lower wage, to get a lower bid, and then they don't lower their price, they just make more profit. So guys work so quick. I've seen framing crews like frame a house in like 2 days, and then they're back fixing everything because it failed. Didn't meet code standards. And the coding standards, well, shit, the government's loosened those up so much, and guys are still failing houses. Like, holy crap. I remember we were on the roof one day doing eave trough, doing a long strip of eave trough, like a 60-foot strip of eave trough, and we always hung them from the roof if we could walk the roof. And we were up on the roof, me and a couple of guys, and all of a sudden the whole fucking house started shaking. We were like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? Somebody hit the house or something with a truck? All it was the drywallers were dropping drywall 4 inches off of their hook onto the floor, and the house was shaking that much. Now bear in mind, you know, it's only a framed-in house. I mean, everything gets sturdied up by drywall and everything else. But that house shook like crazy. And I just thought, my God, we're building houses like crap now. And they're asking so much for them. It's a shame. That's why I don't own a house. If I bought a house, it would be a 30 to 40-year-old house. I would not buy a brand new house now. Unless I'm paying millions of dollars for it. Because those companies, they're making so much money, they make sure the job gets done. But these guys that build cookie cutter houses, these companies that build cookie cutter houses, they don't give a shit. They just want the money. I mean, it's got to meet a very minimum standard, and that's it. So if you go into the neighborhood and look at houses, and every third or fourth one looks exactly the same, you don't want to buy those houses. They are garbage. Then I would recommend going and either renting or buy yourself a cheap trailer and live in a trailer for a while you... Oh, no. While you save up money to buy a house. I mean, you're not going to get your money back from your trailer, chances are, unless you got a real nice one, but you don't want to spend money on a nice one. Go get yourself a used trailer, buy a used trailer for like, well, in Canada it would cost you anywhere from 10 to 20 grand to get a used one. You could live in there for 5 years. Save up a ton of money, and then go buy a real house, not a cookie cutter. Okay, so what are we looking like there? I never looked. Jesus, I thought I was playing Farm Sim for a sec. I could just hop out and go have a look. We got probably 2 or 3 loads to make it passable so we could actually drive across it. But then we might have to put more in just to make it more permanent. But we could get our electrical line layer and drive that sucker across and hook up the power. We could do that. Break up this back and forth constantly. You're probably getting sick and tired of listening to my stories, so we could do that. We're an hour and 20 in, so that took well, I only laid down two piles on the last video. So probably an hour and a half to get to where we are. So maybe by the time we're done, we'll be an hour and 45 minutes just to lay enough sand in there to make it passable. That's actually not that bad. I've spent hours of farm sim building towns and stuff like that, like 20 hours and barely got anything done. They have, if you've never played farm sim, they've got it's kind of turning into, like, you can do soil manipulation now. Once modders come out with, it's called terraforming. I mean, we have it now with Giant's tools, but now we have, like, you know, loaders in the game, excavators in the game, all kinds of stuff in there now. Some guys complain that it's, why aren't you filling? There we are. Some guys complain that it's a farming game. Why are you taking it away from farming? Well, I know farmers that do all kinds of stuff. They have farms, plus they have side construction businesses, plus they have production businesses. You know, the farmers know how to make money. They diversify. The only poor farmer out there is a farmer that doesn't diversify. So that game's got all kinds of stuff to do now. It's not just farming. It's a whole hell of a lot more. But Giants do need some competition because they're slow playing their advances in the game. Modders come up with great ideas. They take the modders' great ideas and put them in their base game. But they do it very slowly. Like a guy just came up with, not released yet, it's in beta, came up with a realistic livestock. The modder's name is Arrow. And it's going to be completely changed the way livestock is done in the game. And Giants won't, Giants will take that idea from him. And, I mean, Giants should have thought of that themselves. But they have no desire. They're making too much money. They've turned into a Ubisoft. But they won't add that to... I mean, eventually they'll add that to base game. But they won't do it for... I don't know, when Farmer 2032 comes out. I'm guessing the next one will be 2027. And then there will be a 2030, and then the one after that, they'll probably introduce it as a base game. But I think modders are getting tired of Giants, and I think they seem to be starting to move on. There's not nearly as much maps as there used to be. I remember when I started in 19, when I first switched to PC, because I was a console player up until I bought that game. When I first switched to PC, I'm pretty sure PC version had, at the end of 2019, had over 400 maps. My guess. And, I mean, that was, well, generally they're 2 years before Giants announce a new one is coming out, and then maps start to slow down. Then it's pretty much guys that are already working on maps are just gonna finish off those maps. You know, you might get another 20 maps before the new game comes out. They usually announce a game in, I think it's February or something like that, and the new game comes out in November. So almost a year. Maybe 40 maps come out. I might be underestimating with only 20. But then they, you know, and then in 2022, I think EC, there was maybe 250 maps. And now it's looking really light, like Do we even have 60 maps? I don't even know if we got 60 maps. Mind you, the game's only been out since November, and it's May. I mean, Precision Farming just came out, so a lot more maps would start coming out now. I think some modders, I think, hold back their maps until Precision comes out because they don't want to they don't want to patch them in afterwards. I mean, I could be wrong on that. Completely wrong on that. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. I think is how, in general, that's how that happens. But I could be completely way off. That's one thing I wished I had always done was, and I'm trying to gear my son into computer technology and that, and I would really like to see him learn coding. I think he would enjoy it. He's a math whiz at 9. We had him doing equations on the side of the bathtub, writing it out with bathtub crayons when he was 3 already. I was teaching him multiplication in the bathtub when he was 5. So he's a smart little bugger. And he finds it interesting, which is the most important part, is that he finds it interesting, so you know he's going to keep at it. If he was bored with it, well, then it would be different. And schools are way different too. Like when I went to school, if you were a whiz at something, you just got bored and had to deal with it until the next year. Now they, you know, as soon as they see that he's getting bored of something because he's figured it all out, they give him, they'll give him the next year's curriculum to play with so that he can start figuring that stuff out. I mean, he's in finishing up grade 4 this year, going into grade 5. He's reading at a grade 8 level, which I think I was grade 4, I was reading at a grade 2 level. I wasn't the brightest one, so he certainly didn't get it from me. He must have got it from Mama. If I read anything, it's usually the ingredients on a bag of chips. He watches a ton of YouTube, but he doesn't watch like Roblox videos or, you know, that stuff that teenagers put out a lot of stuff for, like, geared to those young kids, like for Roblox and stuff like that. He doesn't watch that stuff. He watches like science and math guys. Yeah, he's a pretty smart little guy. I was just a dumb jock. Not that all jocks are dumb, but I don't need any comments saying, you know. Okay, we are almost there. Let's see if we can get across with our grader. We should be able to, no problem. But I want to see how smooth we can make it. We might come along with one more. If we can smooth it out so that I can drive forward with the dump truck and just run a thin layer across the top, like I did in that puddle, the expert, laying out that expert, I don't know, what would you call it, a windrow? Not even a windrow. A windrow is a hill. Well, it's not a hill, but it's a... Guys that know what windrows are, you know what I'm talking about. I did that when I first moved to Alberta. I was on a road crew for the first summer. Moved to Alberta with 2 bags and a car. I bought a Nissan Pulsar. I bought it at a scrapyard. Paid a mechanic $200 to put an illegal safety on it so I could get insurance on it. And I had 2 bags of clothes, and I drove to Alberta. Got a hotel for 3 days. Found a job with a road crew doing subgrade, like we're doing right now. And spent the summer living in a hotel provided by the company while we worked. Saved up like 60 grand in first summer. And I think we're gonna do one more load. I want to smooth that out just a bit more, and then we'll grab the line layer. Yeah, within a year and a half of living in Alberta, and the economy was just booming in Alberta because oil was at full steam ahead. There was you could snap your fingers and have a job in Alberta. It was so easy to get a job in Alberta. I mean, they were, well, I hate to say it because Alberta hates to admit it, but they were bringing in immigrants just to build the jobs. People were moving here from other provinces, left, right, and center. Half of them went home when it all shut down, and some of them stayed. And I never got right into the oil. I tried it for about 6 months, and then a recession hit. That was after my first year on a road crew. Then a recession hit, and we all got laid off, and I never went back. But after a year and a half to 2 years of living in Alberta, I bought a business. I can't say I would ever have been able to do that in Manitoba. But I bought a bread delivery business for a major chain, Dempster's. They call Canada Bread, which is owned by McGavin's. McGavin's owns pretty much half the food industry. They just use a bunch of different names so that you don't know. But yeah, I bought a bread delivery route for them. Got financed for it. Paid 70 grand for that route. And that route was, after 3 years, I was making about $150,000 a year off of it. But I was young and dumb, and I pissed my money away like crazy. That was about a 4-year break that I took from doing siding, soffit fascia, and roofing and all that. And then after I pissed all that money away, I had to get back into siding. Thank God, when you've got oil, you also need houses, because half of the country is moving here. They need somewhere to live, so I basically made money off of the production of oil. Piggybacked off of oil with construction. So now you know all kinds of stuff about me. I like Alberta. It's a little too expensive to live here, but we are... And I don't want to piss anybody off with this comment, especially Americans. We are, or you actually Texans, we are known as, by other provinces in Canada, we are known as the Texas of the North. Kind of. We're the closest thing to the Texas of the North. I've heard other people call us the Vegas of the North because when oil was in full boom, Alberta never shut down. The main highway that runs south to north, the QE2, it could be 3 in the morning and there was traffic everywhere. People were running goods back and forth and keeping oil going, but yeah, we're kind of known as the Texas of the North because we believe in you do whatever the fuck you want. It's called freedom. Mind you, we don't have the gun laws like Texas does, but that's because we would if we could, but in Canada it's federally regulated, and we just had a liberal government, and they pretty much banned everything. Somehow they got voted in again, but we're gonna have to wait until they finally get booted out. One day, at least we got rid of crazy Trudeau. That's the only reason the Liberals got voted back in, was because they got rid of the crazy Trudeau. I'm sure you Americans heard of him. He was well known for doing stupid shit and opening his mouth and saying stupid shit. So, but enough of politics. I don't like to talk politics. I just like to talk about Texas. If I could live anywhere now, it would be Texas. Okay, how we doing here now? Pretty smooth, pretty smooth? Yes. We just got that little dip at the beginning on the other side. But I don't think that's going to affect our line layer, so let's go back to our base. Geez, that's a long way we got to go with that sucker. So we're gonna have to come through the relay and down through here. Yeah. So let's go in our garage, get our line layer. I think that's what we're doing, right? Infrastructure. Yeah, that's the one we want to do right there. Why is it showing the steam? Oh, right, we have to connect the main power substation to here. Geez, and there's a swamp in between, eh? But we can go around the swamp. I mean, there's nothing stopping us from going around here with the line layer. Nothing. You don't have to go a direct line. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So that didn't take that, yeah. It says 1 hour and 38 minutes for recording time, plus 2 loads from the last video. So 1 hour and 45 minutes to do all that dumping. That's not bad. Okay, let's deploy. Now, how quick is this thing? This thing's not very quick, is it? Oh, we should take our brake off. Really not quick all that way. Well, it's as quick as our loader, or our grader, sorry. I think we can drive that sucker all the way there. We got tracks on it. We're not going to get stuck. Are we going the right way? The way this thing turns on a frickin'. Yeah, we're going the right way. Okay, so we want to go hang a left, go all the way through, and just keep on going. What we want to do. Be straightforward. I don't think we're going to run into anything really bad. Trench digger. That's what we call it. Not a line layer. Well, technically it's a line layer too. Oh, we still got to get our steel there too. That's the side mission. Probably quickly do that after we lay this down. So I hope we don't get stuck on that little hump. I don't think we should. I mean, this thing's low to the ground, but it's got tracks. It should be able to make it through that. As long as we don't dig that front end in, going into that little hump. Like, that would be the only thing that could cause us some grief, but if we're that paranoid, I think we could go across it backwards, really. Sun's coming out. Things looking brighter. Yeah, the map looks really nice once the sun comes out and you really look around. What is disaster area, though? Man, I tell you. I forgot. What was the disaster for this one? Was it flood or just heavy rains, or what was it? Can't recall what the storyline of this one was. I mean, the first one was a flood. We had to stop a flood wall. But I don't think it was just excessive rain, was it? Is that based, main theory is excessive rain? Yeah, we made it through that pretty easy. Oh, we slid sideways there. We might have to go a little wider if we're going to put a road in. Because I can see us losing some equipment off the side. Is this where we want to be? I think so. Okay, so I think we want to go straight over there. Actually, that's not that. I don't think. We could go straight across. See if we can make it. Like, it's really not that far. But we could also go right up through here. Probably make it right there. Instead of going directly through the puddle. I think that's what we'll try. Go over here. Now we're gonna run into a little bit of trouble with, okay, how far can we go? Quite a ways. Already be in the puddle. Here, are we good there? Yeah, we are. Okay, so. Activate. I don't mind the animation for this because, I mean, you know how hard it would be to come up with an animation for this? I think they did a pretty good job on this. Hope you guys can hear me. This one's a little, machine's a little bit louder. We're doing this right, isn't it? Why are we red? We start just outside? Or are we going the opposite way or something? Is there something I'm doing wrong? Not read something right. Well, we're going to continue to the other end, and if we got to come back over here and lay a little strip down, I think we can. Because that should be showing green or blue. I can't remember, but from the first video, it was a different color. We might have just missed it by hair. Oh, I know what it is. Let's deactivate. So didn't we have to bring... Didn't we have to bring... Yeah, that might be just short. I thought we had to bring the, that side mission, deliver Deliver the welding gas tank to the relay. That one I haven't even looked at yet. Deliver the cargo truck to Highland Base. So that's not it either. Yeah, I think all we got to do is go back and just do that little strip. Hopefully I'm right. No point in letting me know in the comments because it'll be far too late. Oh, I didn't realize it was such a hump in here. You laid this stuff out. I thought it was smoother than it was. I know when you lay it down on a road, it was smooth because I did that on the last map. Geez, we don't really even want to follow this. We're gonna get stuck in there more than anything. Yeah, you can see the path all the way through. Now, like, didn't we have to restore the power here somehow? I thought we had to. I think we are doing something wrong. Why isn't that down? There we go. Yeah, we're doing something wrong. We are definitely doing something wrong. Come on, get up there. And it's got something to do with that circle there. We have to drive something into this circle. And it's definitely not this thing, so just get this out of the way. But I'm guessing that's going to be one of the other steps. It's exactly what we just did. So, deliver to Harlan Base. Track this. Okay, that's something totally different. Infrastructure. Connect electricity. That's what we just did. Oh, bring rubble of the appropriate color. Okay, that's what we're supposed to do. No, that's not what we're doing, is it? Restore an electrical connection. You will need to lay cable vehicle. Find an active electrical source. Lay underground cable lead station. Okay. So do we not have main power substation? But I don't believe it's got actual power right now. So how are we supposed to give it power? Through the relay? Okay, I believe we're supposed to bring this to... repair the main power station. Yeah, that's what it is. And that's bringing that truck. Yeah, that's all it is. Okay, we're good. We are good. So now we got to go back to that truck. That's what I thought it was, but I didn't realize it was to repair. But I mean, that was the whole point of building that road, was to get us through there. Okay, we better put our all-wheel drive on. Much thinking today, brain farting. All the ideas, trying to figure it all out, so. All that talk of livestock and all the jobs I did through my life. Never actually studied a trade like a certificate trade, like a, you know, like electrical or anything like that. Electrical, if anything, is what I would have done, but I did go back to college and online college, which turns out to be a fucking farce in Canada anyways. I don't know if it's like that in the States, but Yeah, they're a farce. College is a farce anyways, unless it's a trade school. I don't know how many people I hear complaining that they spend $100,000, especially in the States. Spend $100,000 to become something and can't find a job. Stay away from universities. Go to a trade school. Okay, we're almost there. There we go. Main power substation. Okay, so we should get a couple of completions here, right? Only the one?
Okay, the factory looks good to go for now. Once, you know, it has power. I'm sure you understand what needs to be done. But if we're doing it by the book, restore the power supply to the factory according to regulatory blah blah blah. You get the picture. So, here's the gist. Lay a cable from the power substation to the factory. And please don't get electrocuted. I don't need that on my report. Or my conscience. Good grief! You make it all look easy! With the new power cable, we'll have no trouble keeping this factory running. Great job! If we're to fix this whole area, we can never have too many materials. There's no point just sitting around while we wait for HQ to send us everything we need. Or for everything we need to just fall from the sky. Which, let's be honest, is more probable. I suggest you check out the steel pipes facility. It's close to the center of the operations area. If it's working, we'll be cutting out a lot of waiting time. Speaking of cutting out time, there's a stump mulcher that might be very helpful in clearing a path for you. It's in the truck's shack near the relay. Swing by there and pick it up.
Sweet. So we gotta grab a mulcher. See, we just did it ass backwards. We were supposed to deliver that truck first, but we needed to get it across that ditch, which we did. The floodplain, I guess you want to call it, or flood trench, or whatever you want to call it. We did it. So it's done. So now we know we got to explore steel pipes, and we got to get that stump mulcher near the relay. So we will do that, but we're going to call it there. We've been on almost 2 hours. I'm Dirty Bones. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Stay dirty, everyone. Peace.